A spy cam on my Christmas tree caught more than just Santa. I'm so ready for all the Christmas horror stories. So last year on Boxing Day, I found a really cool ornament in a clearance box section. It had a built-in camera to record your own unique perspective on all the holiday festivities. I bought the last one off the store's dusty shelf and brought it home for less than $10. And I completely forgot about it until my wife, my 2 daughters, and I started decorating the house earlier in the month. I told my daughters about the camera and said that we would secretly catch Santa in the act. I had some old costumes in the attic and intended to deliver the gifts in full view in front of the camera on Christmas night. My girls were overjoyed and went back and forth trying to find the best placement to put the camera on the tree. And they had no idea that Daddy repositioned it later so that they would have a good angle of the living room. On the nights leading up to Christmas, I previewed the camera to make sure everything was working properly. And in the morning, I previewed the footage just to verify that it was working. Satisfied with it, I inserted the micro SD card back into the ornament and slipped in a new battery in anticipation for the big night. I was not going to disappoint my girls with a failed recording. We enjoyed Christmas Eve as a family, played board games, ate junk food, and like we do every year, let the girls open up one gift from Mommy and Daddy before going to bed. And the girls, still riding their sugar high, could be heard giggling from all the way upstairs. From time to time, my wife had to shush them, saying that she heard jingle bells and hooves on the roof. Eventually, the kids dozed off and my wife gave me a kiss and headed to bed. I retrieved the costume and headed into the living room for my big feature film debut. Okay, go to the next part because this is about to get really scary. So I did everything that you would expect Santa to do. I drank the milk, ate the cookies, even patted my stomach and said, ho ho ho. Dropped a few presents by the fireplace and full view in front of the camera. A pretty good acting job if I do say so myself. And on Christmas morning, the girls came running into our room to wake us up and they insisted that we watch the video before opening any presents. So I transferred the footage to my laptop, fast forward to where Santa came in and pressed play. The girls squealed with delight and jumped in front of the screen, obscuring my view. It brought me so much joy to see how happy they were, and I was too lazy to turn it off, so I continued to play it in the background while we got ready to open presents. But I spotted a box that I had not seen the night before. It was small and covered in this blue foil paper. My name was on it, but my wife seemed just as surprised to see it as I was. Noticing my confusion, my youngest daughter spoke and said, "Daddy, that's gotta be from Mr. Elf." And I wanted to dismiss that as one of the many weird things that kids say, but my wife wasn't so quick to ignore it. She asked her, "Honey, what elf?" and my daughter pointed to the laptop. By then the video had ended and it was just a black screen, but she said the one that came with Santa. Panic struck me because I know my wife did not dress up as an elf. I scanned the video, clicking back and forth until I saw what my daughter had seen. There had been someone in the living room. He had walked into the dark corner after I turned off the lights and stood there watching me parade around as Santa. The video went completely quiet after this, as though the camera had failed to record a single sound. The strange tall man in the elf costume had stood perfectly still for over an hour, just watching the camera from a distance. After a while, he walked over to the plate of cookies and bit the head off the gingerbread. I saw the teeth marks on the decapitated cookie. He started to approach the tree and I could hear his slow breaths. He then reached towards the ornament and the video stopped. In a terrified frenzy, I grabbed the blue box that he had left behind. I ripped off the bow, removed the wrapping paper, opened the box, and looked inside. There, in a bed of bubble wrap, was the battery that I had put in the camera the night before. My wife took the ornament, opened the back, and noticed that the battery was gone. I don't know what scares me more, what the camera caught or what the elf might have done after the camera was off. Let me know what scary Christmas stories you guys want to hear for the holidays.